everyone, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm Jason, your host.
And I'm Julia, your co-host. We're really happy to have you with us today.
If this is your first time listening, welcome. This podcast is made for English learners who want to improve their English in a simple, clear, and practical way.
Yes, and today's topic is very exciting and very useful. We're going to talk about how to fix your English accent in 2026.
Now, Julia, let me ask you something. A lot of learners say, I can speak English, but my accent is very strong. Why do you think this is such a common problem?
That's true, Jason. Many learners understand English well and even speak fluently, but they feel shy or nervous because of their accent. They worry that people won't understand them, or they're afraid of sounding wrong.
Exactly. And first, we want to say something very important. Having an accent is normal. Everyone has an accent. Even native speakers have different accents.
Yes, so our goal is not to sound perfect or to erase who we are. The goal is to speak clearly, confidently, and comfortably so that people can understand us easily.
That's right. And the good news is in 2026, fixing your accent is easier than ever.
We now have better tools, better learning methods, and better understanding of how pronunciation really works.
So in this episode, we'll explain what an accent really is, why people struggle with it, and then we'll share practical steps you can use to improve your English accent step by step.
And don't worry, everything will be simple, practical, and friendly for learners at all levels.
So relax, maybe take a notebook, and enjoy this episode.
Let's get started.
All right. Julia, let's start with a simple question. What exactly is an accent?
Good question. In simple words, an accent is the way we pronounce words. It includes our sounds, our stress, our rhythm, and the music of our speech.
So it's not only about single sounds like TH or R, right?
Exactly. Accent is the whole style of how we speak, how fast or slow we talk, which words we stress, how our voice goes up and down.
Now, this is very important. An accent is not the same as making grammar mistakes.
Yes, let's be clear about that. You can have a strong accent and still speak perfect grammar, and you can also have a native accent and still make grammar mistakes.
So accent is about pronunciation and melody, not about intelligence, education, or language level.
Right. And another important point, having an accent is not bad. Everyone has one. British people have British accents. Americans have American accents. Australians have Australian accents, and all of them are accents.
So the real goal is not to remove your accent,
But to make your speech clear, understandable, and confident.
because communication is the goal. If people understand you easily, your accent is doing its job.
Exactly. So when we say fix your accent, we don't mean changing who you are. We mean improving clarity, reducing confusion, and feeling more confident when you speak.
That's a great way to say it. Accent is about clarity, not perfection.
Yes, and when learners understand this, they relax more and improve faster.
All right, now that we understand what an accent is and what it is not, let's talk about why so many learners struggle with it. So now that we know what an accent really is, let's talk about the big question. Why do so many people struggle with their English accent?
Yes, this is very important. And the first reason is our mother tongue.
Right. When we learn our first language, our brain and mouth get used to certain sounds and certain movements.
Exactly. And when English has new sounds that don't exist in our language, our mouth doesn't know how to make them easily.
So we automatically use the closest sound from our own language and that creates an accent.
The second reason is that many learners don't listen enough to real English.
Yes, they read books, they learn vocabulary, they study grammar, but they don't spend enough time listening to natural speech.
And if you don't hear how English really sounds, your brain cannot copy it.
Another big reason is fear.
Yes, fear of making mistakes, fear of sounding silly, fear of being judged.
So learners speak less, and when they speak less, they don't train their accent.
And finally, many learners think accent is only about the brain, but it's also about the body.
Right. Your mouth, your tongue, your lips, your jaw, they are muscles, and they need training.
If you don't train them, your accent will not change much, even if you understand everything.
So accent problems are not because you are bad at English.
They are natural, normal, and very common, and the good news is they can be improved.
Exactly. And now, let's talk about how accent learning is different and better in 2026. So, Julia, we've talked about what an accent is and why people struggle with it. Now let's talk about something positive, how accent learning has changed in 2026.
Yes, and honestly, Jason, this is a great time to be an English learner.
Absolutely. In the past, learners mostly used books, CDs, or classroom teachers.
But now in 2026, learners have access to real English everywhere on their phones, computers, and even smart devices.
One big change is technology. We now have apps and tools that can listen to your pronunciation and give you instant feedback.
Yes, you can record your voice, compare it with a native speaker, and see exactly where you need to improve.
Another change is that learners can choose the accent they want to follow: American, British, or international English.
That's very helpful because consistency is important. If you copy one clear model, your accent improves faster.
We also have better learning methods now.
Yes, like shadowing, slow repetition, and pronunciation-focused listening, not just vocabulary and grammar.
And finally, learners are more confident now.
Yes, people understand that having an accent is normal, and improving it is a skill, not a talent.
So in 2026, accent learning is more personal, more practical, and more encouraging.
Which means if you follow the right steps, you really can improve your English accent.
And speaking of steps, let's start with the first one.
Yes, step 1. Train your ear before your mouth.
All right, Julia, let's begin with step 1. Train your ear before your mouth.
Yes, this is very important because you cannot pronounce a sound well if you cannot hear it well.
Exactly. Many learners try to speak first, but they don't spend enough time listening.
So their brain has no clear model of how English should sound.
So what does training your ear really mean?
It means listening to real English every day, not just any English, but clear, natural, high-quality English.
That could be podcasts, YouTube videos, movies, interviews, or even audiobooks.
Yes, and the key is to listen actively, not just in the background.
Active listening means you focus on how words are pronounced, not only what they mean.
You notice the sounds, the stress, the rhythm, and the intonation.
Another important tip is to choose one accent model.
Yes, for example, General American or British received pronunciation. Don't mix too many accents at the same time.
Because consistency helps your brain build a clear sound system.
You can also use simple techniques like repeating short sentences after the speaker or pausing and copying.
This prepares your mouth for later speaking practice.
Think of it like music. You listen to a song many times before you sing it.
Exactly. Your ear learns first, then your mouth follows.
So if you want to fix your accent, don't rush to speak fast.
Slow down, listen carefully, and build a strong sound foundation.
And once your ear is trained, training your mouth becomes much easier.
Which brings us to step 2, training your mouth muscles. All right, Julia, now that we've trained our ears, it's time for step 2, train your mouth muscles.
Yes, accent is not just in your brain, it's also in your mouth, lips, tongue, and jaw. All of these are muscles that need practice.
Exactly. Many learners know the sounds in theory, but their mouth doesn't move the right way yet.
So the first tip is slow practice. Don't rush. Pronounce every sound clearly, even if it feels unnatural at first.
For example, sounds like "thee" in think, or "this" are difficult for many learners. You have to place your tongue between your teeth and blow air gently.
Yes, and it feels strange at first. That's normal. Your tongue and lips need time to get used to it.
Another tip is mouth exercises. Open wide, move your lips, practice vowel sounds, exaggerate them slowly.
Exactly. You can even do it in front of a mirror to check your movements.
And don't forget repetition. Say the same word or sentence many times until it feels smooth.
Also, focus on sentence-level practice, not just single words. Your mouth must learn the rhythm of English.
Think of it like sports. You wouldn't just read about a kick in soccer, you practice your leg muscles. Same with your mouth muscles for English.
Yes, and small daily practice is better than long, irregular sessions. Even 5 to 10 minutes every day makes a huge difference.
So, train your mouth slowly, consistently, and with awareness.
And once your mouth is ready, you can move to step 3, shadowing real speech.
All right, Julia, step 3 is something many learners love. Shadowing.
Yes, shadowing is a very powerful technique. It means listening to a native speaker and speaking at the same time, almost like you are their echo.
Exactly. You don't just repeat slowly, you follow the rhythm, stress, and intonation of the speaker in real time.
For example, you can take a short podcast clip or a sentence from a video. Play it and try to speak along with the speaker, matching their pace and melody.
At first, it may feel fast or difficult. That's normal. Don't worry if you can't keep up perfectly.
The goal is to train your brain and mouth together. You hear, process, and speak at the same time. This helps your accent improve naturally.
You can start with short sentences, then move to longer ones. Gradually, your mouth and ear will work together smoothly.
And the best part? Shadowing also helps you with stress, rhythm, and natural intonation, which are very important for sounding clear.
So shadowing is like a bridge. It connects your listening skills with your speaking skills.
Exactly, and once you do this regularly, your accent starts to improve without overthinking.
Which brings us to step 4, focus on stress, rhythm, and intonation. All right, Julia. Step 4 is very important. Focus on stress, rhythm, and intonation.
Yes, many learners focus only on individual sounds, but English is like music. The way words rise, fall, and flow together is key to a natural accent.
Let's start with word stress. Some syllables in a word are stronger than others. For example, banana, ba-na-na.
Exactly. If you stress the wrong syllable, it can sound confusing or unnatural.
Next is sentence stress. In English, not every word is equally important. Content words like nouns, verbs, and adjectives are stronger, while small words like a thee, is are softer.
Yes. So a sentence like, I want to learn English, the stress is on want, learn, and English. The other words are softer.
And finally, intonation, the rise and fall of your voice. It shows questions, statements, excitement, or emotion.
Exactly. For example, when asking a question, your voice often rises at the end. When making a statement, it falls.
So practicing stress, rhythm, and intonation helps your speech sound natural and understandable, not robotic.
And the good news is you can train this while shadowing or reading aloud.
Yes, combine listening, shadowing, and these musical patterns, and your accent improves much faster.
Which leads us nicely into the next part, common accent mistakes learners make.
All right, Julia, before we finish the practical steps, let's talk about common accent mistakes learners make.
Yes, knowing these mistakes can save a lot of time and frustration.
The first one is focusing only on single sounds. Many learners practice the or are in isolation, but they forget that in real speech, sounds are connected.
Exactly. English flows, so practicing words and sentences is much more effective than just isolated sounds.
The second mistake is trying to memorize the IPA symbols without practice. You can know all the symbols, but if you don't move your mouth and speak regularly, it doesn't help.
Yes, accent is physical, so theory alone is not enough.
The third mistake is ignoring stress and rhythm. Learners often speak word by word, evenly, like a robot, which makes them hard to understand.
And the last common mistake is giving up too early. Improving your accent takes consistent daily practice, even small practice matters.
Exactly. Many learners see slow progress in the first few weeks and get discouraged.
But the key is consistency and patience. Even 10 to 15 minutes a day adds up over time.
So avoid these mistakes. Train your ear, your mouth, and your rhythm, and your accent will naturally improve.
And now it's time to wrap up with some motivation, a recap, and a call to action.
All right, Julia, we've covered a lot today. Let's give our listeners some motivation.
Yes, remember, improving your English accent is not about perfection. It's about clarity, confidence, and consistent practice.
We talked about training your ear first, training your mouth muscles, shadowing real speech, and focusing on stress, rhythm, and intonation.
And we also discussed the common mistakes to avoid so you can practice smarter, not harder.
So here's the encouragement. Don't be afraid of your accent. Practice every day, listen actively, and speak confidently.
Exactly. Even small daily steps will make a big difference over time.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment telling us your biggest challenge with English accents.
And remember, your accent is part of who you are, but clarity and confidence are something you can train.
That's right. Keep practicing, and you'll notice the improvement in 2026 and beyond.
Thanks for listening, and see you in the next episode.